जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री गौधर शिवसदी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय समेत भक्त वृंद की जय इस्कॉन गुरु वृंद की जय श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. We are supposed to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2, Slok 23. yogeśvarāṇām gatim āhur antar bahis-tri-lokyāḥ pavanāntar-ātmanām na karmabhis gatim āpnuvanti vidyā-tapo-yoga-samādhi-bhājām yogeśvarāṇāṁ gatim āhur antar bahis-tri-lokyāḥ pavanāntar-ātmanām na karmabhis gatim āpnuvanti vidyā-tapo-yoga-samādhi-bhājām yogeśvarāṇāṁ gatim āhur antar bahis-tri-lokyāḥ pavanāntar-ātmanām na karmabhis gatim āpnuvanti vidyā-tapo-yoga-samādhi-bhājām yogeśvarāṇāṁ gatim āhur antar bahis-tri-lokyāḥ pavanāntar-ātmanām na karmabhis gatim āpnuvanti vidyā-tapo-yoga-samādhi-bhājām. No more? yogeśvarāṇāṁ of the great saints and devotees. Gatim, destination. Āhuḥ, it is said. Antaḥ, within. Bahih, without. Tri-lokyāḥ, of the three planetary systems. Pavana-antaḥ, within the air. ātmanām, of the subtle body. Na, never. Karmabhis, by fruitive activities. Tam, that. Gatim, speed. āpnuvanti, achieve. Vidyā, devotional service. Tapaḥ, austerities. Yoga, mystic power. Samādhi, knowledge. Bhājām, of those who entertain. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The transcendentalists are concerned with the spiritual body. As such, by the strength of their devotional service, austerities, mystic power, and transcendental knowledge, their movements are unrestricted within and beyond the material worlds. The fruitive workers or the gross materialists can never move in such an unrestricted manner. Please repeat. The transcendentalists are concerned with the spiritual body. As such, by the strength of their devotional service, austerities, mystic power, and transcendental knowledge, their movements are unrestricted within and beyond the material worlds. The fruitive workers or the gross materialists can never move in such an unrestricted manner. This word, the transcendentalists are concerned with the spiritual body. Spiritual body, it is not material body at all. The Lord is spiritual, Dibba, Chinmay. The world of the Lord is also spiritual. As such, we the spirit souls also are spiritual. So, the spiritual body is not like this material body, which is full of miseries, source of miseries. It is said material body is Shariram Vyadhi Mandiram. Material body is Vyadhi Mandir. Vyadhi means diseases. Temple of all diseases. It is said there are some 3,000 diseases in our body available. And sometimes some one or two comes up and disturbs, but they are waiting for coming out. So, this material body is any time it can give us enough trouble. Whereas spiritual body has got nothing to do like this. It's totally like this. Navayovanam cha, always youthful. There is no old age, no disease, no death. Totally, suppose we get a spiritual body means full of youth. During the youth, what happens? Joyful, blissful, happy. Bodily problems are not there, so to say. So if this kind of situation remains forever, what happens? What will happen? It will be nice or not? It will be nice. Everyone will like it. In this material world also, we like to be like that. No one wants to become old. That's why they make their hair black. When they start going gray, they put black so that it will not be visible as such. So because the soul itself is always youthful, young at heart, so it is not supposed to be suffering, and that's why it doesn't want to suffer also, but forced to suffer. Right? Material body is forced to suffer. Suppose at the old age you are succumbed with so many diseases and you do not want to live in this body anymore, you want to go. Still, you cannot do yourself. Right? It's a big problem. So, in order to get rid of this problem, and this will continue as long as we remain in this material world. As long as we remain attached to this material world, material enjoyment, material body, material family, material relationship, this is going to continue in one body or other, in one place or other. But here it says that the transcendentalists are concerned with the spiritual body. And in that meditation, those bodies also become spiritual. Just like Srila Prabhupada was 70 years old, so to say, when he started this movement. But he acted like young people. Right? He acted on this platform of the soul, not the body. So in that way, the spiritual personalities, they are not concerned. Even it is said in that deha smriti nahi jar sansar bandha kahatar. A transcendentalist, they will forget about their material body. Deha smriti nahi jar. Smriti means remembrance. Remembrance about the material body. One who forgot it, sansar bandha kahatar. Where is the bondage? Where is the material bondage for such a person? So if one becomes spiritually advanced, then he or she can come to this stage and forget about this material body. Then whether ate or not, whether it is day or night, whether somebody is praising or abusing, no problem. Nothing matters for them. Because they are situated on the transcendental plane. And even though they are sitting in this world, in this body, but they are roaming around the spiritual world, where the Lord is there, His kingdom is there, His trains are there, all transcendental world, whole world is there. And for them, And for actually, in fact, that world is unlimited world. That's why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, he was printing his magazines, and he thought of printing spiritual magazine daily. So someone asked, Mother, how can you do this? What is this spiritual information as such? What do you mean? This small place, material world, it has got thousands of newspapers, and spiritual world won't have information? From his viewpoint, material world is, spiritual world is unlimited. And unlimited informations can be printed. The materialistic scientists endeavor to reach other planets by mechanical vehicles is only a futile attempt. For a spiritualist, it is a ludicrous thing. They laugh at it. That's why when during 70s, around 70, this moon landing was there. People are saying, television and papers, they are broadcasting moon landing. And Prabhupada said, no, they are not going. And one of his servants, I think it's Kartikeya, his name, he said, what do you mean, Prabhupada? We see it in the television, they're landing. And Prabhupada didn't care. He became upset. Then he left. So, this kind of situation. So, if they have gone to moon, say 50 years ago, right? 70 till another 30 years plus 22, 52 years. So 52 years ago, they went to moon planet and they successfully came back. Then, after 50 years, why they are not going to moon? So where is that technology? It should have become easier and easier. But after 50 years, just to go to the space, people are shaking. Oh, what will happen? Whether they will come back or not. They're shaking. Why? It is said that in order to go to moon, you have to go through the gravitation of the world, earthly gravitation. After that, you go to space, and then you go into the gravitation of moon, and then land there, and again come out of moon gravitation, come to space, enter into this worldly gravitation, then only you land here. So if so much of work is done before, why they are trembling to go to space? This is total bluff. It's a total bluff. Some people, they contacted the person who went there, supposed to be, some Neil Armstrong, something like that. And then they said that, yes, if you have gone to moon, you will touch Bible and say, yes, I have been to moon. We'll just broadcast that. And finally, he was forced to come there, and the cameraman was ready. And in the meantime, he punched the cameraman and ran away. So, if they have gone to moon, why not say, yes, you have been to moon? They have no guts to do so. So anyway, so this thing, going to moon, Prabhupada, according to Prabhupada, it is a spiritual, it is a heavenly planet. Moon is a heavenly planet. Chandralok, Indralok, Varunlok, they are the heavenly planets. And in heavenly planets, everything is different from this world. As such, our 1 year is there 1 day. Our 360 days is 1 day for them. So, difference 360 times difference is there, right? So how this will tally? How this will, communicate? How this will do? There 1 day, our 360 days. Is it possible to communicate and work together? And the physical structure also will be accordingly. Not this material substances, the body made of. That is different. That is said, a man can get 50 times more stronger, become 50 times more strong than here in the Quran and like that. So, this heavenly, of course, heavenly atmosphere, heavenly arrangement is different from this world totally. It has worldly, bodily capacities and these things are insignificant comparing the heavenly affairs. Comparing the heavenly affairs, material, our worldly affairs are insignificant. Like from here you go to America and their lifestyle is far better than India. That itself makes a difference. Although it is same world. What to speak of the different planet? And Prabhupada says, you will go to another planet, even to go from one country to another country, it requires so many formalities. Visa, passport, this, that, so many checkings. And there is no checking. There will be no checking. The worldly people will go to heaven. There will be no checking. So, one can, however, reach heavenly planets by virtue of virtuous activities. To go to heavenly planets or higher planets, we need virtues, pious activities. Of course, to go to down planets, you do not need virtue, but vice is enough for that. Right? So, but one can never expect to go beyond Sarga or Janalok by such mechanical, materialistic activities, either gross or subtle. So, through materialistic endeavors, one cannot go beyond material world. At the most, Brahmaloka. And even to go to Brahmaloka, according to Gita, abrahma bhavana loka punaravartana Arjuna. Even if you go to Brahmalok, you have to come back. So then, Ravana tried to go to heaven by making staircase. He thought of going to heaven by staircase. There is this place in Sri Lanka on the top of a hill. Even today, there is some steps there. It is said that Ravan tried there to make staircase to heaven. So this is all ludicrous thing for the actual saints and sages, people with knowledge. So this material, mechanical way has nothing to do with even going to heavenly planets. It has to be pious activities, pious credits. That takes one to heavenly planets. And as the pious credits decrease, they'll come back. The transcendentalists, who have nothing to do with the gross material body, can move anywhere within or beyond the material worlds. Within the material worlds, they move in a planetary system of Maha, Jana, Tapa and Satyaloka, and beyond the material worlds, they can move in Vaikunthas as unrestricted spacemen. Narada Muni is one of the examples of such spacemen, and Durvasa Muni is one of such mystics. By the strength of devotional service, austerities, mystic powers, and transcendental knowledge, everyone can move like Narada Muni and Durvasa Muni. It is said that Durvasa Muni traveled through the entirety of material space and part of the spiritual space within 1 year only. The speed of the transcendentalists can never be attained by the gross or subtle materialists. So the transcendentalists, they go beyond the bindings of material nature. There is around 300 years ago, in Varanasi there was a saint. His name is Trailanga Swami. So he lived for 280 years. So he used to go naked, big body, and he used to go naked. That was British period. So the government, people complained to the government that this guy, our wives, our children, they are going and they are feeling ashamed. Please do something. So they caught him. And then, as he was talking, they found he is not controllable. Then put him in the prison. They put him in a custody. And the next morning, he was roaming around. So people were thinking, what is happening? How he came out? And then they went to the that cell and saw the cell is filled with water. So then again caught him. And then said, how he came out? Yes, I came out. What can be done? So how come that room is full of water? Yes, I wanted to pass urine. So in that way, after that also, some people tried to catch him, put in a iron box, lock him, and throw in the river. So a good number of people, they were trying to catch him and put him in the box. And as they were trying, somehow he slipped out and jumped in the water. So they were waiting, let him come out. He never came out. He didn't come out of the water. They watched everywhere. No. 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 1 month. He's not there. And then it was found he went to Prague, Allahabad. At the Allahabad Ganga Jamuna, he was sitting on the water there. He was sitting on the water there. So people went to him and said, Maharaj, please come back to Varanasi. With great request, finally he came back to Varanasi again. In that way, he was sitting on the water at Varanasi Ganga. And then in the meantime, some king came to visit Varanasi. And at Varanasi, you can go by the boat for boat ride. So they went in the boat. And then they noticed someone is sitting on the water. Then the king asked, who is he? They said, oh, he is a yogi. He's yogi. He's sitting on the water? Yes. Take the boat to him. And he was taken there. They went there and then started talking to him. And they said, Maharaj, why don't you come on the boat? Please come up. So he came up and discussing. And then in the meantime, this king got a gift from British government, a very special sword. A very special sword was gifted to that king. So he said, Maharaj, you see, this is a gift given by the Britishers to me. How is it? Let me see. So he was saying. And in the meantime, he put his hand out and dropped in the water. These people started getting annoyed. What is this? He is a saintly person. That doesn't mean he will do like this. What kind of person is he? And in that way, they started, scolding at him. And then he finally was, no, yeah, I did. What can be done? And he says, okay. So he put his hand out of boat, and took 2 of the swords, same sword, no difference, 2 swords, same thing, everything. Then he said, see which one is yours? And then the king was dumbfounded. He said, you should know, nothing belongs to you. So this kind of situations are there. And also once some bad people, they tried to harass him. So they said, Maharaj, we will feed you with buttermilk. So he brought 1 bucket of buttermilk. But in fact, that was not buttermilk. It was lime for wall, whitewash. And it was given to him. He just drank the whole thing. No problem. So this kind of activities they do, they are beyond their bodily bindings. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you see. Of course, Mahaprabhu was far beyond this kind of yogis. He was the Lord himself. And still he showed some mystic powers. Like when at the Gambhira, his servant was watching whole night. Mahaprabhu was in the room, locked from outside. And then whole night passed. The next second servant came and said, okay, you just go and take rest. I'll see Mahaprabhu. And then the other servant left. He then thought of opening the door and see how Mahaprabhu was doing. And he saw he's not there. Mahaprabhu is not there. Then started searching him. And the information was given to King Prataprudra. Maharaj is missing. Mahaprabhu is missing. He sent soldiers to find out. Go find out where Mahaprabhu has gone. And everyone was searching, not finding. Finally, they found a fisherman coming, jumping up and down. Haribol, 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 Haribol. What happened? What happened to you? Bhoot, bhoot, bhoot. Ghost. Ghost is there. Where is ghost? Ghost came out in my net, in my fishing net. Ghost came. What is that ghost? It's there near the boat there, near the seashore. Then let us go there. Show us what is that. Then he went there, and the devotees went there. They found really Mahaprabhu is in the net. Looks like half dead. Whether life is there or not, no idea. And then they took him out, and they knew how to bring him back to consciousness. So they started saying, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In his ear, they started saying again and again and again and again. And finally, he gradually came back to senses. Why did you bring me to here? I was in the Yamuna playing with Krishna and the gopis. He was in the Yamuna playing with Krishna's gopis. So this is something beyond bodily jurisdiction. An ordinary person would never be able to do such thing. So, in that way, the spiritualists, their activities is very difficult to understand. It is said, Vaishnavar kriya mudra bigya na bujhai. Even a great learned person cannot understand what the Vaishnava is doing. So, if a Vaishnava goes beyond material conception, that is liberated stage, then his activities are different. I was translating this Prabhupada's memories. So one devotee is saying that every activity of Srila Prabhupada was important. Even a small thing, he is pouring something into a bottle. That is also very significant to see. Every activity Prabhupada used to do, the devotees would be amazed to see. They used to hanker to see. Every activity was very special. Although for him is nothing. He is doing his own thing. But for the devotees, it is very, very special. The devotee says that for us, he has come from Vaikuntha. And his every step is special. So in that way, the transcendentalists, they are not calculable by our material ideas. Sometimes some people try to calculate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he is passing away. They say the Pandas killed him and this and that. In fact, they have no idea what a transcendental personality may be. Like Mahaprabhu's body was not found. Nityananda Prabhu's body was not found. He merged in the body of Bakarai. His wife, Jannava Mata, she merged in the body of Gopinath in Vrindavan, Melbourne. Similarly, Advaita Acharya Prabhu's body was not found. They are not anything of this material world. That's how they are Vishnu Tattva. So, in that way, Vishnu Tattva they are far beyond even these transcendentalists. The stories I told is lower category of transcendentalists. But the super transcendentalists like Mahaprabhu and Krishna, their activities are all transcendental. Hare Krishna. Any comment, question in this regard? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Advaita Prabhu. So, nowadays, when we see devotees perform activities that are kind of extraordinary or different, then some people may say it's lila, it's transcendental. Some people may say it's something else. So what is the criteria by which to judge? Because we see so many people acting in so many peculiar or strange ways, and it's easy for the followers to say, oh, this is lila, you know, this is just divine, transcendental. Yet, according to our Vaishnava Siddhanta, what are the criteria by which we can distinguish the mundane from the spiritual? And as you mentioned, initially there was some yogis, so that was just mystic power, some siddhis that they had accumulated. And then above that there is many more levels, as you mentioned. So what are the characteristics, what are the criteria, so we don't fall into this trap that we call mundane or mystic power something transcendental and spiritual?
You have to find out how much inclined he is to the material enjoyment and material things. If he is still inclined to material enjoyments, no matter what he does, is useless. There may be someone going beyond material jurisdiction, but still we have to find out what is his, ultimate tendency. He has got attachment for material enjoyment. then you should know for sure he is not transcendentalist at all. A transcendental person does not care for this material enjoyment at all. This is nothing for them. No material valuable thing is valuable for them. Like Sanatana Goswami gave the touchstone to that person without caring, just take it. For them, most valuable material thing is not valuable. So that has to be tested. How he is detached from material area.
Well, we see, like especially in India, still there are some people who are very detached. They may hardly sleep, eat, dress, or there's no, yet still they're not pure devotees of Krishna. They're not really manifesting any spiritual symptoms. So just having vairagya, just being detached, if there's no attachment to Krishna, what's the glory in that?
That is impersonalist detachment. Impersonalists go like that. They're detached but no attachment for Krishna.
So it doesn't last. It's not,
that is temporary.
Yeah.
Aruyya kritsera param tadam tata pata param padam tata patanti adha anadvita dushmadangraya. They think they are liberated souls. But in spite of going up, they don't get shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, so he will be patanti adha. They will fall down. So in that way, that's not real tangible thing. Tangible thing is that we become detached from material world, at the same time attached to spiritual service, spiritual world. Otherwise, this is just emptiness. That emptiness will not be lasting. Right? Thank you. Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Because we are coming from I am coming from a background of science, and as kids we are very much conditioned with what we study during childhood or college. And we have faith in scriptures because it is coming via disciplic succession and all that, but still the conditioning is there. So would it gradually go away as we progress, or because at the back of the mind it will keep saying whatever you study, it just shows up when you hear. So what is the hope for?
Yeah, you're already on the line. You're already on the boat. So just wait for the boat to reach. Of course, we have different backgrounds, and from different backgrounds we get different intuitions, different tendencies. But as we practice, then we understand. Just like suppose you have your hardcore moon goers. You support going to moon. And then when you gradually get to this, down to the ground, proves that this cannot happen, this is impossible. Then that if there is some notion, that will go away. Right? And with the devotees, and actually the devotional life and spiritual world is a very vast subject matter. Very vast subject matter. So we have to go through, and one day Krishna will reveal his spiritual world, Vaikuntha, to you. That will be this final. It may take time, take some time, but destination is sure. We are going to reach spiritual world. Okay? Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.